Do you suck at talking to people? Like, do you really suck? Do you walk somewhere or see somebody and you're just like scared, or maybe you go the other way, or you fucking avoid it for some reason? Do you suck at talking to people? Let's be real. Do you? Most people do. In this social media day and age, we're constantly on our phones. We're constantly doing this. We're constantly in chats. We're constantly doing this shit. We're tough as fuck through the app. But when it comes to a person, we can't look them in the eye. We can't talk to them. Is that you? Is that something you want to get better at? You want to learn how to talk to people? Well, in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm really fucking good at talking to people. Really good at talking to people. I can walk into any room. I can talk to any person. I can have a good conversation. I can make them want to talk to me, everything like that. Now, I'm not good at most things, but I'm fucking good at that. Why? Well, I don't know. Because I'm from the Midwest, and that's what we do. We chat people up. So I've got, I don't know, tens and tens of thousands of hours of experience at it. And I've been in shitloads of situations where I had to learn how to talk to strangers, right? I used to be a doctor. I'd constantly have to talk to patients. I'd have to try to get them to tell me what the fuck was really going on. I'd have to get them to share intimate stuff with me. And you want to know this? Check this out. Don't leave this video. Don't check the comments. Don't go scrolling around. Don't go looking at other shit. If you actually want to learn how to look someone in the fucking eyes and talk to them, watch this video. I don't know how long it's going to be. It's going to be as long as it needs to be. But this, if you want to learn to talk to people, if you want to learn to talk to girls, if you want to learn to meet friends, if you want to be able to walk into a room where there's strangers and feel completely comfortable, watch this video. I'm going to give you a big tip right here. Hit the subscribe button. Are you kidding me? Hit that. So check this out. Let me tell you something about people. Maybe you've noticed it. Maybe you haven't. Okay? Maybe you don't talk to that many people, so maybe you're not paying attention because maybe you're so in your own head, scared and having anxiety. I don't know. But you can get over this shit. Believe me, you can get over this shit. And you'll be wondering, I can't believe I ever had a problem with that. I used to have a lot of anxiety. I don't have shit for anxiety anymore. I used to think I was going to die every day. Now, it doesn't cross my mind. I just feel completely comfortable. You want that? Well, listen. It's learnable, like tying your shoe, driving a car. So check this out. So here's a tip I've got for you. Let me just tell you a fucking golden nugget to share with you. Listen to me. So people, what is it with people? How can you just strike up a conversation with anybody? How can you feel completely comfortable in a room? How can you actually be looking for people to talk to, huh? How can you go seek someone out? How can you feel completely confident and comfortable and wanting to do that, right? Because that's rare in and of itself. Let me sip some coffee. Listen, man, or girl, whatever it is. Let me tell you something about people. And you're people. Right? So have self-awareness about yourself here too. You want to know what? You want to know how I'm so good at talking to people? I don't talk about myself. I ask them about them. Do you do that? Do you? I don't mean, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? That's not what I mean. I mean, ask them shit. Be curious about this person because this person standing in front of you has lived a whole life. They have expertise. They have knowledge. They have insights. Try to get that out of them. Start asking them questions, man. Hey, what are you most into? What do you like to do? Oh, yeah? What's that like? Oh, yeah? What's been your experience been like? Yeah? That's interesting. Tell me more about that. Look at that. And you're not doing it fakely. Be interested. Let me tell you a story. There's a guy. His name's Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham? Jay Abrahamson, something like that. I came across him, I don't know, a decade or so ago. Really brilliant marketing guy. So he's a great communicator. And if you want to look him up, I think it's Jay Abraham. I think that's his name. He's a marketing guy. Anyways, but he's a great communicator. And he tells a story about how I think he was in Germany and he was at a hotel and he was at the hotel bar and he was getting a drink and a hotel bar, go figure. And he meets a guy who, I don't remember where he was from, but he had this job where he got to meet lots of people and do lots of stuff. And Jay asked him, he goes, hey man, sitting next to him at the bar, like, hey, what are you doing? What are you here for? And the guy tells him, oh, that, and he goes, oh, that's interesting. He goes, what's this like? Oh yeah, have you met this person? Oh, tell me, what's that? What your experience been like that? Oh, your Rolodex must be really good. Rolodex, old term for actually a paper thing, but your list of contacts. Oh, you worked with this people? Oh, that's interesting. Did you guys ever think about this? Oh, and they talked for hours. Jay was just curious and asking him questions the whole time. And at that point, they'd had a good number of cognacs, and they get in the elevator together because it's time to go back up. Go home, go to their rooms. And as the guy's getting out of the elevator, he looks back at Jay and he goes, you're one of the most interesting people I have met in a very long time. And Jay kind of half remembers because he's pretty buzzed up. And he thinks, I didn't even say anything about myself. And then a thought pops in his head. Listen to this. Listen right now. Listen. Don't read the comments. Don't scroll around. Pay attention right now. You want to get good at talking to people? Hear this. Here's the revelation, the enlightenment, clarity moment that Jay had. It's this right here. The most interesting people are the most interested. Let me say that again. The most interesting people are the most interested. Let that settle. Let that settle for a moment. Let that settle. Think about that. When's the last time someone really asked you about you? Not from a judgmental standpoint, or your parents trying to give you advice, or someone trying to solve a problem for you you didn't ask them to solve. When they just asked you about you, and they took an interest in you or anything you've been doing. When's the last time you did that? Let's be real. Probably never. I have spoken with, fuck if I know, 10,000 people in my life, maybe more. And I got to tell you, it is exceedingly legendarily rare that anyone actually asks me about me. How you doing? That doesn't count. I mean, really take an interest in what I've been doing with my life, right? I could do anything every day. These are the things I'm doing. These are the experiences I'm having. God forbid someone takes a fucking interest in it. Do you understand when someone takes an interest in you, actually asks you about you, actually gives a shit about what you've been doing and actually seems to want to hear it? Not from bitch at me, negative, and share your load on me, give me the drama, give me the dopamine. No, an actual fucking interest in the things that you care about, that you spend your time doing, that you're thinking about. What does that make you want to do with that person? Does that make you never want to talk to that person again? Does that make you want to immediately get away from that person? Probably not. Probably not. You want to be good at talking to people? Fucking ask them about them and take a genuine fucking interest. Can't be faked. Genuine fucking interest. Get curious. Every single person walking around has expertise in their knowledge. Expertise. Experience. Are you getting this? They all got it. Get it from them. Get it. They want to give it. They want to talk about it. They want to share it. Just fucking ask them. And keep asking, not for what you can get out of it. Like, hey, can you help me with this? No. If it gets to a point, they'll probably fucking want to, but that's not the point. That's another point to bring up. Don't have any underlying, reason or thing you're trying to get out. Just go talk to someone and ask them about them. All you have is curiosity. All you have is asking them about them, trying to get the best of them, their best thoughts, their experience. Really start to learn from them. Be a learner. You want to learn. Every single person walking around has shit to teach. They have expertise because of their life experience. Does that make sense? Experience. Expertise comes from experience. Do you understand? If you can take that approach, you will become very good at talking to people. And you're not trying, and all the pressure is gone. Because you don't have to talk about you. You don't have to look cool. You don't got to impress anybody, because you should never do that. That's ridiculous. Just ask them about them. Take a real interest in them. Get curious, because they have fascinating things to share with you. Fascinating. And you'll be like, wow, that was awesome. And you know what? They will fucking love you. And they will fucking remember you. Believe me, when I meet people, they remember me. When I see them somewhere again, they come up to me because they enjoyed our experience. They like me. Now, whether I like them or not, different story. But I typically like most people, right? The guy that really just gets to, and I'm not afraid to say what I really think. When someone just sits there and just talks about a lot of vanity and them and their car and this and that and blah, 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 I'm kind of like, you ever feel like that's kind of vain? I be real. I'm not trying to impress anybody, right? I'm not trying to impress anybody. I ask them the truth. Like, dude, like, sometimes people talk too much about something and they keep everything. Like there's this guy I was talking to a while ago, interesting guy. He's got this business. He's kind of coming up in this TV world in the paranormal space. And all he can do is talk about his Ferrari and this movie he was in and the show he's going to be on. And he kept repeating it and repeating it and repeating it, even though I wasn't asking anymore. And I said, man, you talk about that stuff like a lot. Do you ever ask anyone about themselves? And he looked at me like, huh. And he just kind of walked away. Because I didn't want to fucking hear about it anymore. Like some people, they've given you what they've given you, and they want to talk to themselves about themselves at such a high degree that they are completely non-self-aware of themselves, right? Hold on. A wedding invitation fell. I got a wedding I might go to. So, of which I don't know most people. Actually, it's a family one. A side of my family that I don't see very much. Side of what my father is on that I do not care for him. I don't have a relationship with him, but he'll be there. Sorry, the video might have cut out there. Anyways, and I'll talk to everybody. I'm not going to talk to him. Not interested, but I'll talk to everybody, even though it's an awkward situation. I will walk in there and I will fucking light it up. I assume people want to talk to me. Regardless, I want to talk to them. I want to ask them what they're up to. What are they doing? Have they thought about this? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, and here's another tip. Number 3, be someone that gives value. When someone talks with you and you have an idea, right? When you're really listening to them, ask them questions about it. Have you ever thought about maybe like doing that as a business? That's interesting. Oh, have you ever thought about this? Oh, that's cool, man. Did you try this? Oh, and now you're having a conversation about something they really give a shit about. Do you like talking about shit you don't like talking about? Do you want to talk about the Real Housewives of fucking New Jersey and what happened today? Not really. Not really. And you don't need to, right? There's all kinds of caveats here. But the biggest thing I can share with you is take a fucking interest in people. Ask them about themselves. Will you be a fucking wizard at it first go? No, shut up. Are you kidding? But you will get results. And you'll see, oh. And then you'll realize some people are just uncomfortable even talking about themselves, talking period. Okay, that's fine. Don't get attached to any one conversation. Don't try to get anything out of anybody. Don't try to fucking get anyone to do anything. Have no expectations, right? Have no motives other than just, I wonder what this person knows. I wonder what they're up to. Oh yeah? What's that been like? Oh yeah? How long you been doing that? Oh yeah? What are like the 3 biggest things you've learned in your experience doing that? Think about that one. Let that settle. Ask people shit like that. Like really try to get those fucking nuggets out of them. Right? Think about it like that. Well, you said no expectations, no motives. It's not a motive. They want to tell you that. Because no one ever fucking asks them. Their family couldn't give a shit about what they do, even though they spend most of their life doing it and they're highly interested in it, and their family doesn't even ask them about it or care to listen. When they try to talk to their family just tells them to shut up or ignores them or moves away. No one will fucking listen to them. And it's all they want to talk about. Not necessarily themselves, but they have things that they do that they are interested in that they want to talk about. And so do you. Tell you what, bud, you meet me, I'm going to ask you about you. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. I'm going to take an interest in you. Imagine that. Imagine you meet someone and they take a fucking interest in you. Not because they want something from you, just because they're interested. Is that common? Fuck no. Rare AF, homie. Rare as fuck. Matter of fact, you may not even be able to think of the last time somebody did that with you. If you do remember a time, you really fucking like that person. Straight up. Hit the subscribe button or not. Do whatever you want. Because I'm going to be bringing you more stuff like this. More, we'll call it personal development, right? Building strong minds, building strong hearts, getting clear. clarity, getting the confusion out of here, right? And I find that we're going into a world that is becoming less and more socially inept in in-person stuff. Okay, we're so fucking tough on the social media comment board, right? So fucking tough, but we can't talk to anybody, right? I do live streams all the time. I mean, thousands, tens of thousands of people sometime on my live streams over on my TikTok. I do have a crypto channel called Daily Crypto Bull. And I have comments coming in all the time, and most people are cool. Most people are, but there's a good number of people that do not understand they are talking to a fucking human, right? And so we get detached. Let me tell you something. You want to go meet a girl, huh? I'm assuming most people watching this are guys. You want to go meet a girl? Be fucking interested. Don't be a sleazeball. Just fucking, and don't have any motive. Don't have any shit. Just say, hey, what are you up to? Oh yeah? What's that like? Same thing. Maybe checking a guy, a girl, doesn't matter. Their age, anybody. Ask them about them. And just be truly fucking interested. And don't have a motive. Don't have a desired outcome. Just be cool. Just be chill. Because isn't that what you would want when you're meeting somebody? Isn't that what you want when you talk to people? Wow, someone that's actually interested in me? Someone that actually listens? Right? Someone that's not trying to get something out of me? I like this person. They're cool. I like them. Huh, I want to be around more people like that. You know how many times I've had people say that to me? I have conversations with people and they're like, God, I really wish I had someone to talk to that we had conversations like this. I get that a lot because people don't do what I do. People don't do what I do. Be interested. Be interested. Be fucking interested, right? And if you're trying to get something out of it, you're doing it wrong. Just be interested. Get them to share their best knowledge with you. That's what you want out of it. You want them to open up and share their best shit with you. You want to be able to ask them questions. You want to have a real conversation because they are an expert. When you sit down with it, every person you meet is an expert on multiple things. They're not aware of it. You're an expert on multiple things, but you're probably not aware of it, right? Because when you live life and you have experience, you build expertise. You build knowledge and experience that is greater than most people, right? It may be on fucking video games. It may be on woodworking. It may be on quilting. It may be on a fucking series of TV shows or a series of books. It may be on building online businesses. It might be literally fucking anything. And that's also what you should build your life around. The things that you naturally are inclined to spend time on. The content you consume, the things you pay the most attention to, you should be building your life around that too. That's a topic for another video. But here I am making a video, right, on teaching people how to talk to people, which I didn't realize needed to be done until today. Because I was listening to a YouTuber, and he talked about how he went out and did some stuff to build his social skills, and I thought, oh, fuck. And he talked about how inept he was, and he's like, brilliant now. And I'm like, oh, I'm really fucking good at that. There's probably a lot of people that aren't. And I immediately came here and made a video. Immediately. And the best thing I got for you, be interested. Be interested in people. When you meet someone, ask them, hey, what are you up to? And you have to be shy, right? You don't go, how much money you make? Like, don't go over the line. But don't be shy either. Like, don't be, at first you probably will be. You'll be nervous. But just be cool. Just ask them about them and listen, and then ask follow-up questions, not because you're trying to get anything, because you're interested, right? One of the things I like to ask is like, hey, what are the 3 best things you've learned in XYZ in your engineering career? Like, what are the 3 big things you learned, or what are the 3 biggest projects you worked on? Tell me about them, right? Oh, I don't have 40 years of experience. Shut up. Shut up. Everyone's living a life and they have expertise because of their experience. It doesn't matter. I don't have 40 years. Stop it. Your brain is fucking with you. Don't say dumb shit to yourself. So, be interested. Ask people about themselves. And truly try to get that knowledge out of them they didn't even realize was there, right? When I say, hey, what are like the 3 biggest things you've learned about that? Ooh, wow. Wow, talk about going for the gold, right? This person's lived years of this shit, tons of experience, and you're asking them for like their golden nuggets? Just because you're curious, just because you're interested, and they hadn't thought about that, and they'll be like, huh, and they'll appreciate the shit out of that. Like, interesting. Huh, I haven't thought about that. Huh, well, probably this, and they'll appreciate that you got them to think about that, and you were listening. Do you understand? That's what talking to people is. You want to get good in a social setting? Drop me anywhere. As long as we can speak the same language, right? I only speak English currently. Drop me anywhere. I'm going to fucking talk to everybody. I don't go talking to everybody. My conversations, when I talk to someone, I start talking to them for quite a while. And I'll get a read. Maybe I don't want to keep talking with them. You don't have to keep talking with somebody, right? Some people become too weird or just like too unself-aware and vain. And they just keep repeat. Like I was telling you that story about the Ferrari TV guy. I was like, oh my God, every moment he could, he would just bring it back to those things. And then that's when I finally said, I didn't even ask you about that. Why are you telling me about that? Yeah, you already told me about that. Why are you telling me about that again? Do you ever ask people about themselves? Like, that's rare that I have to do that, but I do. Because listen, I'm not sitting here trying to be subservient to anybody. I'm not trying to get anything from anybody. Right? I'm not trying to start a fight either, but I'm being real. I just want to be a real fucking human and just be myself. And it's okay to be myself, right? And it's okay for everyone else to be themselves. And it's okay to give feedback too sometimes in a case like that, right? When someone's just sitting there like constantly every moment bringing it back to a Ferrari, I go, dude, like, you told me about your Ferrari like 5 times. I get it. In like as respectful of a way as I could to let him know, like, bro, I'm not doing him any favors, letting him continue doing that, because literally everybody is thinking the same fucking thing. Like, bro, we get it. You have an old Ferrari that you have this thing about and you just want to talk about all the time. Cool. I've asked you about it. I've already asked you a bunch of questions. You don't need to restart the whole fucking conversation. See, there's a difference. There's nuances to this shit. But you're not going to run into people like that very often. And it's okay to just kind of walk away. Because sometimes I'm talking to people. Most people will end up realizing, like, wow, this person's asked me a lot about me. I should ask them about them. And then they'll ask you about you. And you start talking about your stuff. And you don't need to go blather on, right? Give them the opportunity to learn this social skill also. Right? And then how do you end a conversation? Well, I'm going to go, it's nice talking with you. I'm going to go over here. It's nice talking with you. I got this coffee to get. Nice to meet you. Or maybe you get a contact information, right? Because maybe it's someone you do want to keep up with. Hey, what's your Twitter account? Hey, what's your I don't know. That's probably a good one. Twitter's probably a good one. In America here anyways. What's your fucking I don't usually do email, depending if it's business, maybe email. But, what's your Twitter? I'll DM you. Something like that. Or your Instagram. But I would probably more use, either of those. Doesn't matter. I don't use either of them much. Social media, now while I'm here making social media and I make a lot of content, I consume a lot of YouTube because they're like educational videos. I consume a lot of education. I'm very interested in learning. Are you interested in learning? Bro, if you want to get good at talking to people, you can't be wanting to get anything out of it. Can't have any like ulterior motives. You just got to like be interested in talking to people. With that being said, I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. I prefer to be alone and be with my thoughts and be learning and reading and stuff like that. But when I go into a social setting, I'm real fucking good at it. Really good. Because I've been forced, even as an introvert, I've been forced into it. Right? Out of politeness, I was a doctor, so I'd constantly have to talk to patient after patient after patient after patient. So I also got comfortable asking people more personal things. And I realized people want people to ask them shit like that. Ask me stuff. Not, hey, how much money do you make? Like, chill out, over the line. But like, hey, what's your, how you been feeling? Like, are you happy with what you do? What are you really into? Like, what do you spend most of your free time? Like, paying attention to, reading about? What kind of trips you been on? Oh yeah, Italy? Oh yeah, what was that like? What were the 3 best places or things you did in Italy? right? So you're doing research, right? You're gathering knowledge for yourself. This is valuable stuff, and you're having a good time. The most interesting people are interested. The most interesting people are interested. Let that settle. Keep thinking about that. You want to get good at talking to people? Be interested in them. It's that simple. Truly, it is that simple. And just start doing it. It's all you got to do. Don't ask them for anything. Don't try to get them to give you something but people are walking around wanting to share their knowledge. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't ask them to do anything for you. Don't ask them to do this or do that. Also, be patient. Let relationships develop, right? Again, not from an ulterior motive, right? Most people I talk to one time, I never see them or talk to them again. And I don't really have that much of an interest in seeing or talking to them again. Not that they're bad. I'm a bit more of an introvert. I prefer a lot of alone time to have my own thoughts, to read, to learn, and pay attention to what I want to pay attention to. Now, if I go find someone that's actually like me, well, that's a different story, right? But I find that to be rare. If I found someone that was into the same things I'm into, building an online business, making online content, helping people learn this stuff, right? Building wealth, which isn't just money, right? Wealth means comes from the old term well-being. So this is what I'm into, right? I'm into that stuff. And so unless you're into that, I'm not interested in hanging out with you. I don't really make that many friends, right? I'm just not interested. I'm just not interested in having friends because I have my partner, my lady. I spend most of my time with her, or again, I spend a lot of time by myself because that's just the way I am. But this video is not about that. This video is about learning to talk to people. And I'm realizing that's a skill that is very undeveloped in many, 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 many people. Especially the younger you are, the less developed it is. Because you've grown up in a world where most connection has been like this, digital, not real life in person. So when you meet people in real life, you just don't have the experience. You don't have people really teaching you what to do. Not that there was ever really anyone teaching what to do, but you found this video. I hope you're still here watching, right? I've been sitting here kind of reiterating and repeating the most interesting people are interested, and I really hope that rings in your head if you're really interested in learning how to talk to people. And eventually, you won't even remember that you couldn't talk to people. I used to be terrified. We went to, a few months ago, we went to I had some family in town, and my niece just started going to college here, so it was her mother and her brother that came here. And we went to a board game shop that you could sit in and eat and rent out their board games, kind of like a library. And so we rented out a game, and we were playing the game, and my niece comes over and asks her mom, she goes, "I need the restroom code." And I'm like, I heard that, and I go, well, the person at the front knows it, because I'd already asked for it. I forgot what the code was, though. I said, oh, that person at the front has it. Was just literally 15 feet away. And she didn't even really respond and just kind of stayed quiet. And then her mom gets up and goes over and gets the code. And I'm like, you can't walk up to the person working here and ask them for the code to the bathroom? That's their job. That's the least friction environment possible. That is literally their job. That's they know people. They're not like, oh, I can't believe this person asked me for the bathroom code. No, that's part of their job. If someone asks you for the bathroom code, you give it to them. You're there to serve all the customers and the people in there, right? And she was too afraid to do it. And I'm like, fuck. That is a big handicap. And do you know how much of an advantage it is to people in the future that can actually talk to people in person? That can talk to people, period? What an advantage, because it's going to become more and more prevalent that people don't know how to talk to each other. So this once basic, vital skill, it's still vital and basic, will be very underdeveloped in most people, therefore giving those that have it a big advantage. The most interesting people are interested. That's about all I got for you today. I'll have more to share with you. Hit the subscribe or not. Do whatever you want to do. Hit the like, hit the dislike, whatever the fuck you want to do. But if you want to start learning to talk to people, be interested. And don't have any ulterior motive. Don't be looking to get anything out of it. Just be interested and be in the moment. And next thing you know, 30 minutes will have passed. And you'll be like, oh. And then you'll realize I could keep actually asking this person. Because at first you're like, well, what do I ask them? Oh, maybe I ask them a couple questions, but then what do I do? Just go with the flow. They'll say things. Be curious. Ask them about those things. A few fillers. Not fillers, that doesn't sound good. What are like the 3 most important lessons you learned about that? People don't ask shit like that. But boy, oh boy, do people want to be asked shit like that. Straight up. And some people are uncomfortable talking about themselves. And maybe they'll divert attention back to you. Those can be fun ones. Because it's a bit of a volley. And then you can talk about yourself as they ask questions. But don't go overboard. Don't go in depth. It's okay to ask someone, hey, I could probably really go on about this. Do you want me to go on about it? Well, sure. Or how far you want to learn about this? Or try to govern yourself. I really try not to talk about myself too much. I talk about things that are interesting to the person that I'm talking to. And I ask them about things that are interesting by being interested. Yeah. I think that's it for this video. I got a live stream. I got to hop on here with my crypto people on TikTok. This video is on YouTube. Obviously, you're watching it on YouTube. But I'm going to make more of this. I'm not going to say I hope this was helpful. It is fucking helpful. It's extremely helpful. The question is, will you do it? That's the only question. This is extremely helpful information. I don't need to hope it's helpful. I could teach this like crazy to people in workshops. Maybe one day I will. Never thought I'd have to teach people how to fucking talk to each other. Not meaning to shit on you. I'm not. I'm just saying, wow, didn't think something so basic. That's the thing about, listen, I'm not good at most stuff, but I'm really fucking good at that. Every one of us is walking around and every one of us is really good at least a few things. But the thing is we're not really aware of it, or we're not really aware of its value, or we're not really aware how much better we are at it than most people. That's the thing about genius. Every one of us is walking around with genius, expertise inside of us. And it could be on anything, right? Like I said, it could be on fucking League of Legends. It could be on Grand Theft Auto. It could be on quilting. It could be on, design. It could be on fucking lighting. It could be on photography. It could be on photographing insects. It could be on fucking dog shampoo. It could be cleaning a dog. It could be elephants. There's no fill in the blank. There's no thing. Think about, what do you pay most attention to? What are you consuming content about all the time? What are you thinking about that you would love to do, that you love to do? Like me, I like to just consume content on personal development and like business, like mindset, right? I like to share with people these things that I find too. So I spend a lot of my time doing that stuff. Here I am making this video. God knows how long it is right now. I don't have a timer around here. I'm assuming maybe 30 minutes. And all I knew was that I was going to get on here and share with you the biggest tip I can give you. It's not even a tip. It's a fucking principle. It's a fucking key factor. Is that in order to be the most interesting people are interested. If you want to talk to people, be interested in them. Ask them about themselves. And you don't need to be committed to having a long conversation with them. You don't. If they are sometimes too eager to talk about themselves in a very, very vain way, you may not want to stick around and listen to it, But you can still redirect the conversation into, oh yeah, well, that thing's interesting. What else have you learned about that? And start diverting them around to get out the information you want, right? You want their expertise. Get those fucking nuggets out of them. Seriously. It'll be very enjoyable for everybody, right? That's what being interested is. So that's it. I'm out. See you next time.